Hi. So I have a funny story if you have a minute. So I just went to Tractor Supply and I had myself in a bit of a mood, bit of a funk. I was pretty grumpy. I was a little bit pouty having to go on Monday because I don't ever go on Monday. And I was like, oh, I dread spending all this money, y'all. I'm not ever on here. I always show you guys my horses. But today it's Veterans Day and I had to go to Tractor Supply. So I went, and while I was there, out of nowhere appears this lady that works there, and she's the sweetest lady. And she's like, oh, what are you getting? Can I help you? And she literally helped me load my cart. My back kind of hurts. I wasn't feeling really good. Again, I was in a bit of a funk. So she helped me get everything, and I needed to get a bag of chopped alfalfa for my daughter's horse, and the only bag that they had was ripped. And she's like, she'd already asked me, are you a veteran? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, and I said, well, I'm not the lion kind. And she goes, if you have a relative that's a veteran, we're doing a 10% discount today. So she's like, oh, all right, well, okay, that sounds great. And then she finds the bag of chopped alfalfa and it's ripped. And she's like, well, I'll give you another discount for this bag because it's the only one we have. So she taped it up. I'm like, that'll be fine. And I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. But the beet pulp, she goes to take the shredded beet pulp off the shelf, and that has a hole in it. And we think we see something fly out of the bag. We're not sure, but she's like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, oh, no, that's not good. I don't want that. She said, I have fresh beet pulp in the back. I'm going to go back there and get you 3 bags. No problem. So I take my cart back there to the back so she can be closer to it because she's got to lug these bags. And there's a really cute couple back there, and they smell so good, which is why I went over there, because they smelled so good. And I wanted to say, hey, you smell so good. But when I turned and looked at them, like, I realized this guy reminded me of somebody. And then they were looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, oh my God, they think I'm weird. I'm staring at them. He looked just like Spike Lee, but I didn't say anything because I don't want this guy to think I'm weird. So I didn't say anything. And then I go up and I pay, and they gave me several discounts. So that was really nice. Definitely put me in a better mood. And then they call the guy up to unload my stuff. So he goes and gets my stuff and puts all my feed and my beet pulp, my shavings in the back of my truck. Then he has to go get something else for me and bring it over. So I see this guy, this older man down there in the parking lot. And the parking lot is like a hill, and the carts are kind of, the brakes never work on these carts. And he's got some heavy bags of, it looks like corn and some bird seed and stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to go help this guy. And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. And I say, hey, do you need some help? Because I can help you. And he's like, pointing. He did not speak a lot of English, I don't think. He's pointing at the guy that works there, and I'm thinking, the guy that works there is already helping me. I'm gonna go help this guy. So I go down there and I hold the cart for this guy, and he's like, you sure you help me? And I'm like, I'm sure I'm gonna help you, because I think today's the day you're supposed to do something nice for people. So I'm trying to do that and get myself out of this funk. So I hold the cart for him so it doesn't run into his car, and he unloads the 3 bags, and he turns around, and I'm thinking, he's going to say thank you, and I'm going to say you're welcome. He goes, you take cart back. I'm like, what? Like, me? I'm like, okay. I said, you want me to take the cart back? He goes, yeah, you take cart back. And then he goes like this to me, like he kind of dismisses me. And I'm like, I immediately bust out laughing, because I'm thinking, I would never act like this, but it's hilarious to me. I find humor in this. I'm like, okay, I'll take the cart back for you. No problem. I hope you have a nice day. And I'm thinking, I did this to help the guy that's working there, because he's already helping me, and I'm standing there doing nothing. I'll go help this guy. So I take his cart back, even though I don't work there. That's fine with me. And while I'm walking into the foyer to put my cart back, out walks this guy that looks just like Keanu Reeves. And I couldn't help myself. I'm like, dude, you look just like Keanu Reeves. And he's like, you know, I'm like, you get it all the time. He says, I do. And I said, you know what? Good for you, dude. Good for you. What's the moral of this story? I'm not in a funk anymore. I just drove home. It took me 25 minutes to drive home, and I'm still laughing to myself about this guy, this old man that I helped, telling me to take the cart back. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is why we're supposed to help people. The moral of the story is, how does it make you feel? Because it made me feel better, and it made me laugh, and it put me in a good mood. All these other people have helped me throughout that whole store. The cashier was excellent. Then I get out there and help this guy, and he's like, you take cart back. I'm like, that's fine with me. You know what? And I told him, just like I worked there, I'm like, you have a nice day, sir. And he didn't say anything, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine. It does us good. It's good for our soul to help other people. And that's it. So I'm going to keep helping people today because it makes me feel good. I hope you all have a wonderful day.